Have you ever wondered why people seem to have such a hard time loving you? Why, no matter how much you try to fit in or soften your edges, you always seem to be met with resistance, misunderstanding, or even outright rejection. It's as if the very thing that makes you special, the light that burns within you, is the same thing that makes others uncomfortable. Maybe you felt like an outsider in your own family, like a stranger in your own hometown, or like no one quite understands the purpose you carry deep inside your heart. Chosen ones, you are not alone in this feeling. You are not imagining it, and it's not because you're doing something wrong. In fact, it's because you are doing everything right. God has planted a divine spark inside of you, a light so powerful and unique that it sets you apart from the rest. It's a light that shines truth, wisdom, and love into places where others would rather remain in the dark. And sometimes, people can't handle that kind of light. Think about the story of Jesus in his hometown, in Mark chapter 6. He went back to the very place where he grew up, where people knew him as a carpenter's son, as the boy who played in the streets. Yet when he stood up to preach and perform miracles, they couldn't accept him. They said, "Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son? We know his brothers and sisters." They couldn't see past the familiar face to recognize the divine purpose within him. Their disbelief, their doubt, and even their envy blinded them to the light that was right before them. Even Jesus, the perfect Son of God, was not accepted by his own people. Why? Because his light was too bright for their darkness. His wisdom challenged their comfort. His love revealed their hidden wounds. His miracles exposed the limitations of their own beliefs. And so, instead of celebrating him, they rejected him. Chosen ones, in the same way, people may struggle to love you because your very presence calls them to confront what they would rather keep hidden. Your compassion reveals their lack of it. Your resilience reminds them of their own weaknesses. Your unwavering truth shines a spotlight on their illusions. You see, the world often teaches us that to be loved, we must blend in, be agreeable, and never rock the boat. But you, chosen one, were born to rock the boat. You carry a light that was never meant to be hidden under a basket. You carry a wisdom that challenges the status quo. You carry a love that sees through the masks people wear and recognizes the pain they try to hide. And because of that, some people will resist you. They will project their own fears, their own insecurities, and their own shadows onto you. They will make you the scapegoat for their own struggles, even though those struggles have nothing to do with you. It's a heavy burden, isn't it? To be the one who feels like they have to shrink just to make others comfortable, to dim your light so that others won't feel exposed. But deep down, you know that's not what you were created for. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand out, to challenge, to inspire, to heal, to show others the path to the light, even if that means walking through the valley of rejection. And I want you to know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to carry this extraordinary light, even if others can't understand it. Because, chosen one, your purpose is not to make everyone comfortable. Your purpose is to be a beacon of God's love and truth, to remind others of who they really are, and to call them to a higher standard. And yes, that might mean you walk a lonely road at times, but remember, Jesus too walked that road. He was rejected by the very people he came to save, yet he did not shrink his light. He did not compromise his truth. He fulfilled his mission despite the doubts and the disbelief. So when you feel the weight of others' rejection pressing down on your heart, remember, it's not always about you. Sometimes it's about the darkness in them that cannot bear the light in you. Sometimes it's their own unresolved wounds, their own fears of inadequacy, that cause them to push you away. But that doesn't make your light any less real, any less powerful, or any less needed in this world. And that's why, chosen ones, you must never let the coldness of others extinguish the flame that God placed in your heart. Because that flame is holy. It is the mark of a calling greater than the opinions of the world. You see, the enemy knows that light cannot be hidden for long. He knows that when you walk into a room, your very presence shifts the atmosphere. You bring with you a divine authority that challenges the false comfort people find in their illusions. It's why sometimes Even before you speak a word, people feel uneasy. They sense something in you, a truth that demands acknowledgement, a purpose that cannot be denied. Chosen ones, understand this. Your wisdom, your compassion, your resilience, these are not ordinary qualities. They are the fruits of a soul that has been refined in the fire of experience, a soul that has learned to trust God in the darkness. And because you carry these gifts, you naturally hold up a mirror to those around you, a mirror that shows them where they have settled for less, where they have believed lies instead of truth, where they have hidden their wounds instead of healing them. And for some, that is simply too much to handle. That's why you may find yourself at odds with people who once called you friend. Why family members may misunderstand you, label you as too much, or even reject you outright. Because you are no longer willing to play small. You are no longer content to hide the gifts God has given you. You are stepping into your calling, and that calling demands that you stand tall in the truth, even when others cannot accept it. Look at Jesus again. In his own town, he could do very few miracles because of their unbelief. Not because he lacked power, but because their hearts were closed. Their eyes were blind to the divine purpose standing in front of them. Yet Jesus did not let that stop him. He moved on to the next town, continuing his mission, shining his light, and fulfilling his Father's will. He understood that rejection is not always a sign that you are doing something wrong. Sometimes it is the clearest sign that you are exactly where God wants you to be. Chosen ones, you must learn to see rejection not as a curse, but as a confirmation that your light is real, that your purpose is true, that you are stirring up the very darkness that God has sent you to confront. And yes, it will hurt. It will hurt when people you love cannot see your heart. It will hurt when your compassion is met with suspicion, when your truth-telling is met with accusations, when your wisdom is met with silence. But do not let that pain make you bitter. Let it make you stronger. Let it refine your light so that it shines even brighter. Because in a world that so often prefers darkness, it takes courage to shine. It takes courage to be different, to love deeply when others refuse to love at all, to tell the truth when lies are easier to swallow, to walk in integrity when compromise would be more convenient. But that is the path of the chosen one, a path that Jesus himself walked, a path that every true light-bearer must walk. You see, the enemy would love for you to believe that there is something wrong with you because people struggle to love you. But I'm here to tell you that the very opposite is true. People struggle to love you because there is something so right about you, something so bright, so pure, so powerful, that it reveals what is broken in them. And for many, that is too much to face. So they reject you, they belittle you, they gossip about you. Not because of who you are, but because of who they are not yet ready to become. But chosen one, don't shrink, don't hide, don't pretend to be less so that others can feel more comfortable in their shadows. God did not create you to blend in with the darkness. He created you to be a city on a hill, a lamp that cannot be hidden, a reflection of His love, His truth, and His grace. And though the world may not always recognize it, your light is a gift that God has placed in you for such a time as this. So, chosen one, remember that you were never meant to fit in with the crowd. You were never meant to shrink or to hide. You were meant to shine, to stand apart, to carry the truth even when the world is drowning in lies. You are a beacon of hope in a sea of doubt, a voice of reason in a land of confusion. And yes, that makes you a target for those who cannot handle your light, but it also makes you a vessel for those who are searching for it. Let the story of Jesus in Nazareth remind you that even the perfect Son of God was rejected by those who knew Him best. They looked at Him and saw only the carpenter's son, the boy they had grown up with, not the Messiah they so desperately needed. They couldn't comprehend that the one who played among them as a child was now the one who carried the keys to their deliverance. And so they dismissed Him, doubted Him, and ultimately denied Him. But Jesus did not let their disbelief define His destiny. He moved forward in His purpose, healing the sick, raising the dead, and proclaiming the kingdom of God. He fulfilled his mission, even though some refused to see it. Chosen one, you are called to do the same. You may not be Jesus, but you are his follower. His spirit lives within you, and his purpose is working through you. Every time you choose to forgive instead of retaliate, to love instead of hate, to speak truth instead of lies, you are living out that purpose. Every time you refuse to let the darkness define you, you are testifying to the light that lives inside you. You see, the world is in desperate need of your light. Even if they cannot always say it, even if they reject it at first, they are starving for the authenticity you carry. Your compassion is an antidote to their pain. Your wisdom is a guide for their confusion. Your resilience is a reminder that even in the darkest nights, hope is never lost. And your unwavering truth is a sword that cuts through the deceptions that hold them captive. Do not be afraid to stand alone, chosen one. For even when you feel alone, you are never truly by yourself. God is with you, guiding your steps, protecting your heart, and strengthening your spirit. Every tear you've shed, he has counted. Every wound you've endured, he has seen. And every time you felt misunderstood or unloved, he has held you close. For you are his child, his warrior, his beloved. Let this be your reminder today. You were born to stand out, to carry a light that cannot be hidden, to be a living testimony of God's love, even when others cannot understand it. Because one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, those who once rejected you will see your light for what it truly is. They will see the truth that has always been there, and they will know that God was with you all along. So, chosen ones, keep shining. Remember, you are a reflection of God's love and truth. Those who can't handle your light now may come to appreciate it later. Let your uniqueness be your greatest strength. For in a world that is desperate for real, you are the real thing. Keep walking in your purpose. Keep holding on to the truth and never forget. Your light was never meant to be dimmed. Shine on, chosen one. The world needs your brilliance now more than ever.